expectations that sanctions would lead to a collapse in the economy or a financial crisis are incorrect. The main impact of sanctions is that it certainly is damaging the economy, particularly damaging areas like technology and future economic development. So what it's done is it has reduced growth this year, not as bad as we were looking at it in March, but it's creating a situation where the economy could remain almost in stagnation for many years. So it's not the quick hit that some were hoping for, but there is kind of a long negative tail in terms of the damage to the economy from the accumulation of sanctions.
What difference would the tap being turned off to Germany make here? Chris, I'm aware as we talk about the announcement of another major package from the United States from Ukraine, there are still people that look at the contribution to the defense of Ukraine in key Western European countries, and they're arguing that it falls short. And Germany in particular, when you look at what they've contributed compared to the amount that they're paying Russia regularly for energy, it's insignificant in that sense. But would it matter if they stopped paying Russia for that energy?
Well, obviously, if we stop paying at this stage, there is not a sufficient amount of alternative gas available. And that situation will likely get worse in winter because Europe has been able to buy a lot of LNG this summer to build up storage gas coming into winter. But they've only been able to buy that gas because it hasn't been required by the Asian markets. It is contracted to the Asian market. So if we had a cold winter or a rise in demand for Asia, that LNG would be contracted, would have to go there. And so Europe would be even more dependent on Russian gas. So it's quite clear under all scenarios that cutting off gas supply from Russia into Germany, into Europe, would have severe economic consequences in Germany. They would have to go to stage 3 rationing, which would lead to a shutdown, particularly in energy-intensive industries such as chemicals. For Russia, though, it would have an impact. One of the reasons why the Russian economy is relatively stable, I mean, GDP will decline this year between 4% and 6%, not the 20% that was talked about in March. And also, unemployment is only 3.5%. In March, people were talking about 20% coming into the autumn. And the economy is relatively stable. And one of the reasons for that is because, of course, the government is earning a significant amount of money from exporting oil, gas, and coal before it was banned in March. The trade surplus in the first 6 months was $158 billion.